Out of all the shows I've watched, there's one that hooks me like no other. On the surface, Netflix's Daredevil looks like your typical superhero story. A masked vigilante trying to take down the mob boss who controls the city. Not exactly a groundbreaking storyline, right? And yet, there's something about it that feels completely different. It's not easy to exist inside a universe filled with gods, aliens, and planet-eating monsters and still carve out a world that feels grounded and real. But Daredevil does exactly that. So how? After going down the Daredevil rabbit hole for the 5th time, I realized the series is held together by 5 key factors. 5 choices that make it feel authentic and keep pulling me back every time. Let's start with the first one. One of my absolute favorite things about Daredevil, above almost any other show out there, is its realism. Yes, I know, it's a show about a blind lawyer fighting ninjas and God knows what while doing parkour. I get that. But what truly grounds Daredevil, among many other things, is its fight choreography and world building. I'll talk about the world building separately because it deserves its own love and care. But for now, let's focus on the fights. In the very first episode, Matt struggles against a street-level thug. He doesn't glide through the fight, he doesn't dominate, he survives. And while most superhero shows would never show us that side of the protagonist, Daredevil leans into it. And you know what? I love that. I love that we finally get a human superhero who is, well, human. Not invincible, not some level 99 killing machine. Nope. We get a street-level hero who actually fights like he's fighting. He gets tired, he gets frustrated, he screams, he improvises, he uses whatever's around him. And the bad guys? They don't drop after one punch, they get back up. Because that's what happens in real life. Matt has to keep swinging. The bad guys get up and come at him again. They don't wait for the hero theme to kick in. They don't pause for a punchline. The fight just continues. And what blows my mind is that this show exists in the same universe as a talking raccoon and a man who fights with a frisbee. That contrast is insane to me, and I haven't even talked about the single-take sequences. The hallway fights are simply legendary, and the reason they land so hard is because they're mostly shot in single takes. The disorientation, the chaos, the panic in Matt's chest. You can see the exhaustion building, because Charlie Cox actually looks tired. And that exhaustion bleeds into the performance. I think we can all agree that Daredevil has one of the most spot-on casts of all time. Charlie Cox is just brilliant as Matt Murdock. At this point, I genuinely cannot picture anyone else in the role. He's so convincing that when I watch his interviews, I have to remind myself that he isn't blind in real life. That's how good he is. Can we give this man an Emmy already? Then there's Deborah Ann Woll. First of all, Deb is a national treasure who needs to be protected at all costs. Secondly, and this is important, she is literally the only Karen I have ever loved. She single-handedly redeemed that name for me. How crazy is that? What I love about her the most is the detail she brings to Karen Page. She captures the warmth and kindness of the character, but never lets you forget the internal conflicts simmering underneath. You know that balance between light and darkness? She nails it. And then we have Eldon Henson. Come on, who doesn't love good old Foggy Nelson? He's that one friend we all wish we had, and honestly, the kind of friend we should aspire to be. He shows up, he stands by you, and even when he's hurt or betrayed, he doesn't let it drag him into bitterness. Honestly, I could go on and on about how much this entire cast elevates the show. All I'll say is this. The casting department deserves a raise. Daredevil has some of the best writing and dialogue I've seen, period. And that's saying something, because I watch a lot of shows. What I love most is how the series handles Matt's faith, especially in Season 3. We don't just get action, we get a crisis. We see his belief in God shaken, challenged, stripped down to its core. And the writers don't approach it in a simplistic good versus evil way. Instead, they explore the idea that light and darkness coexist. The devil and God aren't opposites canceling each other out. They're forces constantly wrestling within the same person. The show suggests that what ultimately defines us isn't the darkness we feel, but the choices we make despite it. At the end of the day, it's our actions that count. And I haven't even mentioned my favorite part yet, Matt and Frank. I could genuinely listen to Matt Murdock and Frank Castle argue for hours. Their debates are incredible. The rooftop scene, the cemetery scene, every scene they share is simply iconic. Frank is extreme, brutal, uncompromising. But in his mind, he's confronting reality head-on. He believes some evils can't be rehabilitated, they can only be eliminated. Matt stands on the other end of that spectrum. He represents restraint, mercy, the belief that no one is beyond redemption. And the beautiful part? Neither of them is entirely wrong. And neither of them is entirely right. They challenge each other. They expose each other's flaws. That tension is what makes their dynamic so alive on screen. Can you believe that a Marvel show chose practical effects over heavy CGI? I know, I couldn't believe it either. When I watched the first episode, I genuinely had to double-check that this was part of the Marvel universe. There wasn't any obvious CGI overload, no BS environments, no pointless action. Instead, we get texture, real walls, real bruises, real blood. Lighting that actually bounces off surfaces the way light does in the real world. Choreography happening in real spaces, not in green screen replicas stitched together in post. The production quality across the board is top tier. The cinematography? Stunning. The framing, the use of shadow, the symbolism in the compositions, everything feels intentional. Every shot looks like it belongs exactly where it is. And then there's the sound design. The moment that theme kicks in, you feel it. Goosebumps. Every single time. One of the best things about Daredevil is how grounded its world feels. Matt isn't out there fighting planet-eating monsters or gym-going titans. Seriously though, what gym do you think Thanos goes to? Well, I don't know about him, but I do know that Matt Murdock goes into the streets of Hell's Kitchen, protecting real people, giving everything he has. It's refreshing to see a hero who treats saving one life the same as saving half the universe. A hero willing to risk everything for one kid in an alley. And to top it off, Matt doesn't even have traditional superpowers. Yes, his senses are heightened, but that's more like a compensation for his blindness, not a flashy upgrade. Every time he goes out there, there's a very real chance he might not come back. But he still goes. Despite the risks, despite the pain, despite the fear. He puts on the mask and chooses to stand between danger and the people he loves. After all, as they say it, he is the man without fear.